In this WrestleTalk news, top AEW stars to WWE. Bray Wyatt's behind-the-scenes writer gone. Triple H trying to fix Vince McMahon's mess, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
Following months of speculation over FTR's future with AEW, speculation mostly fueled by FTR's own podcast, the questions were answered on Sunday the 5th of March, when the tag team made their return to the promotion at the Revolution pay-per-view. They cut a promo on the following episode of Dynamite, vowing to finally defeat those dastardly ass boys and win the AEW tag team titles. FTR have presumably signed new contracts to stay All Elite. Well, that's that done then. Just one more thing. They hadn't. Or maybe they had. It's hard to tell with these guys. PW Insider reported the backstage belief in AEW was that FTR had signed new long-term deals with the company, as their contracts were due to expire in April. Any other teases Dax made on Twitter or his podcast were just a storyline cover for their Revolution return. That doesn't explain why Dax is still teasing their contracts are still due to end. On his FTR podcast, Harwood responded to the PW Insider report saying zero has changed, reiterating they only returned because they had healed from injuries and that they're still contracted until the end of April. Now Dax has tweeted, just got off the phone with Cash, we've decided what we're going to do come April. Nothing! You're gonna do nothing? Oh, there's a full stop there. I read that wrong. We've decided what we're going to do come April. Nothing is official yet, so legally can't speak on it. But in the next couple of weeks, we'll let all of our fans know. We owe it to y'all for the opportunities we have in front of us. Love y'all. And as a potential clue to which promotion their future belongs to, Dax also revealed the subject of his next podcast episode. Later this evening, we're recording FTR with Dax, and it's all about my former boss, Triple H. Any questions about him as a boss, leader, mentor, creator, or anything in general, drop it down below with the hashtag FTR with Dax, with a gallery of 4 photos of Triple H posing with them and their tag title wins. I think the smart money is on FTR having re-signed with AEW, because why would Tony bring them back in such a high-profile angle? Tony Khan would never devote major TV time to someone who's just about to leave for their main competitor. But the fallout of CM Punk's brawlout still lingers, and FTR appear to be on the other side of the locker room to the Elite, and they would likely relish the opportunity to join Triple H, who is definitely running WWE Creative, particularly as this year's version of Cody Rhodes jumping ship from AEW. Where do you think FTR will end up come May? Let me know in the comments. But maybe soon Dax and Cash won't be the only big-name free agents up for grabs. Bray Wyatt was pulled from his advertised appearance at a Madison Square Garden house show on the 12th of March, sparking concern over his WWE status. Some speculated he had walked out over creative differences, but Fightful and the Wrestling Observer both reported it was due to an illness. It turned out Wyatt actually hadn't been at TV for weeks before. This left his planned WrestleMania 39 match against Bobby Lashley in doubt, which had started to build just before the 18th of February's Elimination Chamber. He hasn't been seen since, and Lashley even publicly tweeted he could face someone else at the show. Things looked hopeful on the Friday 17th of March episode of SmackDown, where there was a teeny tiny Wyatt 6 logo behind Kayla Braxton when she was interviewing LA Knight. The exact kind of subtleties Wyatt thrives on. But now Dave Meltzer has reported on TSM Radio he's ill. He was supposed to be at the show Friday, and he was not, so he's still ill. They did do a quick tease of him, so he's not gone from the company. When I asked this week if he was going to be wrestling Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, I did not get an answer, and they did not promote that match on either show at all. Meltzer speculated that because his sources did not give him a definitive answer on whether Wyatt's WrestleMania match will happen, it implies they don't know either. It's up in the air, as he said. WWE have also stopped mentioning the Lashley build, but the SmackDown reference was a sign they hadn't let him go, unlike one of his main backstage writers. Fightful Select is reporting long-term WWE writer Nick Maffredini is no longer with the company. Maffredini had been with WWE for 13 years, working on both Raw and SmackDown, where he reportedly worked very closely with Wyatt, being heavily involved in the creative process of the Firefly Funhouse segments. It's unknown whether he left of his own accord or whether he was released. Fightful do note, though, that Maffredini leaving happened earlier this year, so it isn't directly related to Wyatt's hiatus behind the scenes. Wyatt isn't the only issue Triple H, who is definitely running the company, currently has to deal with, though. He's also got to fix that pesky Vince McMahon mess. You know the one, the infamous mess that Vince McMahon has created for WWE in the last year, abusing his position of power to just do whatever he feels like, unifying the championships. Damn you, Vince. WrestleVotes have told Give Me Sport that Triple H wants to separate Roman Reigns' UU belts before SummerSlam in August. Describing the situation Hunter was handed as the final mess. It's the final mess. Da-da-da-da. Over in AEW, they did their first ever, but actually technically second ever, venture into untelevised live events. Their House Rules show in Ohio on Saturday 18th of March. I will need a payment of Khan coin there, Tony, because House Rules is our show on No Rolls Barred. Don't make me set Sully on you, Tony Khan. You would not like it if I set Sully on you. The event appears to have gone down very well, with PW Insider reporting the event was just shy of selling out, with 3,000 fans in attendance. A very promising sign considering only a handful of top stars were booked for the show, like Pat Buck. Perhaps with one eye on live events in Mexico, AEW's head of talent relations, Christopher Daniels, has told Wrestling Inc. that Tony Khan recently had a meeting with Conan, who works for the major Mexican promotion AAA, to repair the miscommunications or misunderstandings from last year, which deteriorated to such an extent AAA effectively screwed AEW by shock announcing Dragon Lee was heading to WWE just a day after he'd beaten AEW tag team FTR for their tag titles. Who will win the WWE King of the Ring tournament? Here's Adam Blompier to tell you, because he loves a tournament.
Hello and shut up. There are 20 of these to get through and you know what the King of the Ring is. I'm Adam from WrestleTalk and here are 20 wrestlers who could win King and Queen of the Ring. Number 1, Finn Balor. Now I'm not sure about you, but I think it's time the Prince leveled up to become a king, following hopefully a definitive victory over Edge in a Hell in a Cell WrestleMania match.